We finally have an update on those $200 prepaid debit cards for Medicare beneficiaries. If you've been following me for any length of time now, you know that I've talked about this a few times over the last few months, and I continue to tell you, as soon as we get an update, I will be back right away to give you that update in a video. Actually, so many of you have been leaving comments down below literally over the last couple months saying, can you give us an update? What is going on with those cards? And I respond saying, you know what? I don't have an update. However, as soon as I get one, I'll let you know right away because I'm just as anxious as all of you to figure out, are the cards coming? Are they being distributed? Have they been printed up? What's going on with them? Are we just supposed to forget about them as if they were never supposed to come in the first place? What's going on? But either way, let's get into it and talk about this update. But if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt. Thank you so much for your support and for choosing me. I'm back on a daily basis as your advocate. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you're subscribed by hitting the button down below. Also, feel free to share any of my videos with any of your friends, family members, neighbors, anybody else that you think could benefit from all of this information. So let's get into it and talk about these $200 prepaid cards for Medicare beneficiaries. And let's just spend about a minute and do just a quick recap on this if you're not aware of what they are or what's going on with the latest information. So these $200 prepaid cards were actually announced back in late September by President Trump. He was making a speech somewhere, and he said that he was going to be sending out these $200 prepaid cards for Medicare beneficiaries to over 35 million beneficiaries in October. Well, mid-October came as when the cards were supposed to be sent out. No cards, as far as what I learned from everybody here, no cards were received by anybody. Well, then there was another statement that came out saying, scratch that. The cards are actually going to be coming out in late October. We're going to send out a test group of cards. And then in early November, we're going to send out the rest of the cards around the election. Well, guess what? The election came and went. November came and went, and nothing, as far as I know. However, I did see about 2 comments down below on various videos of people saying that they did receive the card. Like I said, I literally only saw, I think, 2 comments of people saying that they received them. So if you're one of those people, congratulations. Maybe you were part of that little test group that they claimed that they would be sending the cards out to in late October / early November. Maybe that's actually the case. So if you're one of those people, congratulations. However, if you're the other 35 million people that didn't receive a card, well, you're certainly not alone. So here's the latest information that we have talking about these cards, and that is Mark Meadows was out in a statement and said that the cards would be sent out in November or December. Well, guess what? Here we are in early December. November's gone. So unless the cards are still in transit, or I just simply haven't seen the comments from any of you, as far as I know, no one has received the cards yet. So if you have received a card, please leave a comment down below and let me know that you received it, and let us know what the envelope looks like so that all of us can be on high alert to look for it in the mailbox. Also, I just want to recommend, since these cards are apparently supposed to be going out in November, so that means they'd be in transit because here we are in early December and nothing yet. So my point is, maybe they're still in transit, or if they're going to be sent out in December, which is what we're in now, be on high alert. Before you throw your mail away, just make sure you do a thorough scan of your mail to make sure that you're not throwing away one of these cards. I know some of you, don't really care about it, whatever, but you know what? If it's a free $200, why not take it? I feel like it's $200. Everybody could use an extra $200 right now. So it's interesting that we have a little bit of an update. It's been very scarce as far as the updates and all the new information on these cards. So I will continue watching everything, but let's get into it and talk about these cards a little bit further. And that is, it's estimated, well, not estimated, there are 46.5 million Medicare Part D beneficiaries in the United States. It's estimated that roughly 35 million of these people would be receiving these cards. So it looks like about 11.5 million or so, roughly, beneficiaries of Medicare Part D would be those who probably are receiving probably Social Security and SSI simultaneously. As I've talked about in other videos, for SSI, Supplemental Security Income beneficiaries, it sounds like you would probably be unfortunately excluded from receiving the card simply because they've said if a person receives federal assistance with pharmacy coverage, it would unfortunately exclude those people. So again, don't be upset with me. This is just what the rules are. I'm just the messenger here. So that's what it sounds like. But otherwise, as far as the cards go, it sounds like the total cost of the program is about $8 billion. However, in order to avoid congressional approval of this, because we know Congress can be incredibly slow, they want to avoid congressional approval of this. They're actually going to be calling it a Medicare demonstration. Apparently, if you call it a Medicare demonstration, you don't need to get congressional approval, which would actually be nice to expedite the process of actually sending these cards out to everybody, as everybody could probably use them. Something else that's interesting. So a Medicare demonstration cannot actually increase the federal budget deficit. So, in other words, the funds would most likely need to come from the government's general revenue or the Medicare payroll tax. So, again, it doesn't really matter for all of us. They can figure that out on the back end. But let's get into some of the commonly asked questions that I continue to see down in the comments section. Provided we get these cards, I want you to have all of this information right away so that you know how you can use the card, what you can use the card on, what does it mean, all that kind of stuff. Because I imagine if these cards start arriving in your mailboxes, there's going to be a lot of different questions. So I want to answer these commonly asked questions right away for you. And that is, I've talked about these in other videos, but I'll hit on these, just the most commonly asked ones that I've seen multiple times in the comment section. And that is, what can we use the card on? Well, according to President Trump and according to all of the information that's been released, it must be used on pharmacy copays and premiums. That's what they said. Now, can you use it on over-the-counter items? We have not gotten that clarification yet. So, again, like I said in my other videos, if we start getting a bunch of these cards coming out, ask the people at the pharmacy. They would probably know because they're probably going to see a ton of these cards coming through. So they'll probably have a pretty good idea if you can use it on over-the-counter items or not. So that's just a general rule of thumb. Other people have been asking, can I use it to pay my utilities, my rent? Can I buy groceries with it? Can I buy glasses? Can I buy shoes? Can I buy clothes? As far as we know, the answer is most likely no. And the reason I say that is simply because of the statement I just said a minute ago, and that is they told us it can be used for pharmacy copays and premiums. So that would make me think most likely no on the clothes, the shoes, the utilities, the rent, groceries, all of that stuff. I would generally say probably not. So I hope that answers the question. Some other questions that we're getting. Is this going to replace the stimulus check? Well, the stimulus check is a whole different topic. Again, no, this is going to be in addition to stimulus checks. This is just going to be something else for Medicare beneficiaries, those of you receiving Medicare Part D. Now, again, another question that I get a lot is, will SSI beneficiaries get these? Like I said a couple minutes ago in the video here, based on what we know, I would anticipate no. And the reason for that is they said anybody who gets federal assistance for pharmacy coverage would not be getting these cards. So anybody who is receiving SSI is most likely also receiving Medicaid. Medicaid is a federal and state program. So with that being said, unfortunately, I would anticipate SSI beneficiaries would probably not get these cards. Other questions I see are, how is it going to arrive? It sounds like it's going to be in the form of a debit card, a dedicated debit card in your mailbox. It's going to have $200 loaded onto it. You can use it until it hits zero, and then it just sounds like, that's it, just like a debit card. That's just how it is. Is it going to be deposited onto your Direct Express card? No, like I just said, it's going to be that dedicated debit card. Is it going to be Is it going to be in the form of a paper check or deposited into your bank account? Again, no, it's going to be that dedicated debit card. So, another commonly asked question that I see is, I don't get any prescriptions. I don't go to the pharmacy. Can I give it to my friend? Again, I don't know on that. I honestly don't know. I would say, from a legal standpoint, probably not. If it's issued to you, it should probably be used by you. But again, honestly, I don't really know the answer to that. And I don't want to be the one responsible for saying yes or no. So I would just say, legally, generally, ethically, probably not. You probably can't give it to somebody, but you just never know about that. So that probably should hit on the most commonly asked questions that I see down below most often. Also, like I said, as always, I'll continue watching this very closely. If we happen to get more updates on this topic, I will let you know right away. If any of you start to receive these cards in your mailbox, number 1, don't hold your breath. Number 2, scan your mail thoroughly just in case they arrive. And number 3, please leave a comment down below and let me know if you have received these. Let us know what the envelope looks like so everybody can be on high alert to watch for these in your mailboxes. Otherwise, with all of that being said, continue to stay tuned. I will continue to keep you updated each and every day with everything going on regarding stimulus, these cards, the $200 prepaid cards, everything else you can think of. I'm here for you. So enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again soon. Thanks, everybody.